In 1871, Chicago was the pride of America, the fastest growing city in the world. But it was a ticking time bomb. The entire metropolis was built almost entirely out of cheap wood. Even the sidewalks and roads were made of pine boards, baked bone dry by a brutal summer drought. On the evening of October 8th, a tiny spark ignited inside a small wooden barn. Driven by fierce, howling winds, the flames quickly leaped from roof to roof. Within hours, the fire grew so massive that it began to create its own terrifying weather system. Colossal fire tornadoes, spinning pillars of pure flame, tore through the crowded city blocks. These fiery cyclones ripped burning roofs into the air, dropping them onto untouched neighborhoods miles away. Panic erupted as hundreds of thousands of citizens desperately fled the unstoppable inferno. The heroic fire department was completely overwhelmed, their equipment breaking down in the extreme heat. Desperate crowds rushed toward the Chicago River, believing the water would save them. But the city's unchecked industrial greed had turned the river into a toxic, polluted nightmare. The water was covered in a thick layer of grease, oil, and highly flammable factory waste. As burning debris rained down, the impossible happened. The river itself caught fire. A massive wall of flame raced across the water, incinerating wooden ships and trapping survivors. The fire easily jumped across the burning river, spreading the apocalypse to the heart of the city. Grand hotels, massive department stores, and government buildings were reduced to ashes in minutes. Solid iron structures warped and melted under the unimaginable 1,000-degree heat. For 2 agonizing days, the Great Fire consumed everything in its path, turning night into day. Finally, a heavy rainstorm rolled in, starving the exhausted flames and bringing the nightmare to an end. The devastation was absolute. Over 3 square miles of the bustling city had been completely vaporized. 300 people lost their lives, and over 100,000 citizens were left homeless in the smoking ruins. But the spirit of Chicago remained unbroken. The city refused to surrender to the ashes. Planners immediately rewrote building codes banning wooden construction in the city center. Architects flocked to the ruined landscape, experimenting with a revolutionary new building material: steel. From the flat, scorched earth, the world's very first towering skyscrapers began to rise. Chicago transformed its darkest tragedy into an opportunity to invent the modern metropolis. Today, a majestic skyline of glass and steel stands where the wooden city once burned. A testament to human resilience, and a reminder of the dangerous cost of building an empire too fast. The Great Chicago Fire erased the past, but it forced the future to be built stronger.